Alright, first thing, when you see a question on circle geometry, like this, say when it comes to Theorem 1, you must check if it's indicated on the diagram that there is a line which passes through the center that's perpendicular to a chord. So in this question here, this is a good sign. That's an indicator that we are talking about the original Theorem 1. The line, in this case, is the diameter, obviously, is perpendicular to AB. Okay, so that's the original theorem. It will be indicated on the diagram that there is an angle which is equal to 90 degrees between the line that passes through the center and the chord. So that's the original theorem. So here, it means I'm going to use the reason line from center perpendicular to chord. Okay, so let's start doing the question. I just need to remind you that this question here requires your prior knowledge of the theorem of Pythagoras. You are in grade 11, so all your knowledge from grade 8 up to last year is required to answer this question. Okay? So, the question says DC is perpendicular to AB. That's a good thing. That's an indicator that, okay, this is the original theorem 1. And it cuts AB at E, right? Then DE is about 18 units. AB is about 24 units. Okay, now you should be able to see that or to know that DC is a diameter because it joins 2 points on the circumference and it passes through the what? The center. So DC is a diameter. Right, so 1.1, determine with reason the length of AE. So we want the length from here to there. That's the length we want. Okay, let me just label what we are given. Okay, DE, that is the whole length from here up to there. So let me use the green here. That's equal to 18 units. Okay, that's 18 units. Then AB, that is from here to there, that's 24. Okay? Right. So if I want to calculate the length of AE, I know that if DC or DE is a line that is perpendicular to AB, it therefore means that AB is bisected by DE or AB is bisected by DC. Okay? But the way you write it down is extremely important. So this is how you start. Okay? I'm going to use theorem 1. So I'll say 1.1, I'll say AB, okay, rather let me say AE is equal to half AB, like that. Or you can say 2AE is equal to AB. Once I write this statement here, I have to give my reason based on theorem 1. So in brackets, I'll say line from center perpendicular to chord. That's my reason. I know that if a line is drawn passing through the center of a circle, if it's perpendicular to the chord, it therefore bisects the chord. So that's my reason. This is only true because of that reason. Okay? Then, what am I given? I need to calculate my AE. Fortunately, my AB is given as 24, which means my AE is going to be equal to 12 units. Then I'm done. That's my answer.
So we have to write all of that.
Yes.
So, and is that the short solution at the reason?
Sorry?
Is that the short solution at the reason?
Yes, that's the shortest way based on what I introduced. Check. That's the shortest way. Okay. Any questions?
So if it's a prove that like so if it was saying prove that that the DC is like perpendicular, then you would have to roll the two and construct the two
Yes.
lines.
But in this case here, one is already constructed, A4 is constructed, so we have to construct all of them. Okay, so let's move on to 1.2. It says, if the radius of the circle is x units, right? If the radius is x units, so this radius here is x, okay? That's a radius, AO is a radius. I can also construct OB, it's also a radius. Furthermore, OD is also a what? It's also a radius, so that's also x. Also, OC is also a radius. So we have got 3 radii in the diagram. 3 radii in the diagram. They are all equal to x. Okay? Then it says, express OE in terms of x. Express OE in terms of x. Your OE is from here to there. Now, do you see that DE is equal to 18, but OD is equal to x. So if I want to find my OE, it's very simple. So let me do 1.2 here. So 1.2 here, I'll say my OE is going to be equal to the total length of DE, which is what? 18. Do you see that? Right? My OE is going to be equal to DE minus OD. So that would be 18 minus. So the length from here to there is going to be equal to 18 minus x. Okay? Then the last question says, calculate with reason the value of x. Calculate with reason the value of x. Now, fortunately, I now know that from here to there it's equal to 18. Let me try to see what color I will use there. Okay, maybe I don't know some good color, but blue maybe. So this length here is 18 minus x. Okay? Now, for me to carry on, I may need to use the theorem of Pythagoras for me to carry on. So I have to identify a right angle triangle that I can apply the theorem of Pythagoras. Fortunately, I know the length of AE is equal to 12. So this is 12 and that BE is also 12. So the triangle that I'm going to identify is going to be AOE. So I'm going to say in triangle AOE, now apply the theorem of Pythagoras. I want to solve for x, remember. So I'll move on to the next page. Any questions before I carry on? Is it making sense? So let's move on to the next page. So I'm going to say this is 1.3. So first thing, identify the name of the triangle. So it will be triangle AOE. Please, the way that I'm doing the question in terms of the structure, that's what I expect from all of you. Okay? That's what I expect from all of you. So you see, I've identified the name of the triangle. It makes things easier to identify the name of the triangle and name the triangle. So when you write, you start by saying in triangle. The teacher or the examiner will see that, okay, the learner is talking about this specific triangle. It will make things easy. So you must learn to do that from now on. Right? As long as I'm your maths teacher, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay? Then, in that triangle, if you look at it, I can now use the theorem of Pythagoras. My hypotenuse is AO. So I'll say AO squared is equal to AE squared plus OE squared. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll say AO squared is equal to AE squared plus OE squared. Then I must give a reason. Please don't forget to give the reason here, Pythagoras. It's geometry, so you have to give that reason. Okay? Are you following what I'm doing? That's how you're supposed to do the question. Then My AO is x, so this becomes x squared. My AE is 12, so that becomes 12 squared. My OE is equal to 18 minus x, and that will be all squared. Okay?
Oh, then we.
Now you come to quadratic equation. Okay? Right? So this becomes x squared equal to 144 plus, right? I don't want to do it in my head, but 18 minus x times 18 minus x. This will be equal to x squared plus 144 plus. Now 18 times 18 is what? What is 18 squared? 324 minus 18x minus 18x plus x squared. So this becomes x squared equal to, if I add those two, I'll get 468 minus 36x plus x squared. Okay? Alright, I want you to be aware that you did quadratic equations. Right? So the x squared and the x squared that I want to cancel out. So if I take this x squared to the left, it will cancel out with the other one. So I can write this as 36x is equal to 468. And I'll divide both sides by 36. Okay, so my x is going to be equal to what? What is 468 divided by 36? Are you sure it's 13?
Yeah.
So you get 13 units. 13 units. Okay, that's the value of x. Okay, that's the value that they wanted. Calculate with reasons the value of x. What are the reasons? The reasons that we have here is this. Theorem of what? Pythagoras. That's the one that we use to get to the solution.
So,
Yes.
only thing